Good morning. Well, that was weird. But anyway, um, I did it a different way today. The intro thing. I'm always like, yeah, I do my thing at the beginning, which is just usually a bunch of rambling about nothing. Yeah. Anyway, so how's everybody? I hope you're well. I'm doing mediocre at best, but mediocre is better than poor. So anyway, we're going across the pond today. I had a band. Actually, I had a guy get in hold of me on Instagram, I think it was to begin with, and he has a band from the UK called the Midwich Cuckoos. They shred. I was really impressed. After I dropped the ball so many times on having them on here and like just email. I'm horrible with emails. I'm horrible with everything really when it comes to technology. I've said it many times without Nick, like I don't even know how to use a phone. But anyway, without further ado, we got Robert and Tangy.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, welcome.
Hi.
That's cool.
So,
Thanks for having us.
so yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on. Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm so just poor with emails and just technology itself. Like I'm just so bad with it.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
I do that screen printing too. So I have like I'm constantly running like 3 pages. You know what I mean? You have your personal one and you have this one, and then like it's just so much. Sometimes I just have to list like, all right. But I appreciate your patience with me.
How's it going, man?
Yeah. So, tell me a little about yourself. I mean, like I said, what I listen to, you guys fucking shred, man. Like, I was super impressed. You have a wonderful voice too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about the band like you were before, like when you started and stuff like that, Rob?
Yeah, sure. No problem. So we Midwich Cuckoos probably started about 5 years ago. Me and Tanzy weren't originally in the band. We're sort of in the Mark II version. Uh, so Pat, guitar player, one of the other guitar players, which we can get to in a bit, he pulled together a bunch of songs. Sort of was working on them sort of on his own, and he grabbed some friends to turn them into finished products. So he had a guy that he was in a band with who lived in Brazil, fired the songs over there. He worked them. They came back, grabbed a few other friends. The original singer Val, she was from Italy, who's on the first record, which is called "We're Everywhere." And eventually, over the course of a couple of years, they pulled together this bunch of songs, and they decided that they didn't want to leave it there, and they did turn it into an actual live lineup. And that was Pat, Leslie, who plays guitar as well, Val, Ben, and Dan on drums. Now they played a few shows and it went okay, but then Val, the original singer, had to go back to Italy, and that's where the kind of link happens, because me and Tanzy were in bands with Dan, the drummer, beforehand, and Tanzy stepped in to sort of pick up the vocals. And then there was a gig where Pat couldn't make it. So I've known Pat for a long time, but we've never been in bands together. And he asked me just to stand in for that one show, and never really left, just kind of hang around. So that's why we've ended up with 3 guitar players now. So there's 6 of us all together. And that kind of this lineup's been going now for about sort of 3-4 years. Don't really count the last 2 because nothing we haven't really played, but
Yeah, you guys are
it's
like a
been pretty
ska
productive.
band.
Almost.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Does it get? Do you ever get like pretty tight places where like you know what I mean? I mean, 6 would be a lot of. I don't know. I know there's places where I played where 3 was a lot to be the spot.
I think
Yeah,
that's
all
a,
the
that's a,
time.
a consistent problem.
Yeah,
That
it is.
we make good use of the space, and it's always fun. So I think it
Yeah,
would be weird if we played a show that we had space. I would feel really uncomfortable. We'd be like, this is too much space.
Yeah, there's more often of if there's, I mean, little things. If there's even a stage, you can get maybe 50% of us on it. So we sort of dot around where we can fit in. And yeah, I think one of the first things we realised when we started playing as a 6, I think after that first gig, we all went, we got to go wireless. So that was a big step to get rid of the spaghetti. And yeah,
yeah.
Tanzy can prowl around now. So no, it's good. It means that we can pretty much take over little rooms.
Boy, that would be straight up like spaghetti, wouldn't it, man? All those that'd be a lot of wires.
Nice.
That's why, like I said, you guys like I don't know,
Good. I
when I
mean, little
heard
rooms are great actually.
the little the smaller the better usually, you know what I mean, for as far as crowd interaction and everything, like, those are the ones that count, man. I
Yeah, and
never,
yeah,
as far as you
we
know what I
make a lot
mean,
of
like
noise.
yeah, no, you guys are like a rock opera or something, man, like, it's just like a punk I don't know, it's just like it sounds layered, it's cool as shit, and then, like, they sent me some of the artwork and stuff like that, and just I don't know, man, there's, like, a whole kick-ass element to it, like I said, I was super impressed with everything.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
got like this art booklet that comes, well, we just released a vinyl, and then with the vinyl you get a special booklet. It's got all the illustrations and the lyrics in it. It's pretty unique actually. I've not seen a similar thing done with a vinyl.
Where can you get the vinyl at?
It's on our website at the moment. So there's links via Facebook and Instagram. And there's actually, I think there's a few other places as well, but probably buy it through the website is better for us.
yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
that's just midwichcuckoos.com. You'll be able to find that.
Oh, okay, easy enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually,
with
you'll get
the
those ones that are
with
like
the
slash GoDaddy slash
oh yeah, no. Lots of, yeah, squiggles in it. But no, with this, the record, that's gone out, I mean, we're really pleased with it all, and yeah, we've made a real effort to make it more than just a bunch of songs. I think, one of the things over the last couple of years is that we've had sort of a bit of time to put a lot of effort into it, and we've brought in loads of friends have got involved. I mean, Tanzy was mentioned about the illustrations that go with the tracks. Is a friend of ours called Antonio. Dan, who's the drummer, has done an incredible job of artworking everything together. I mean, the more you look at it, the more you see with the visuals. It's great, and yeah, really pleased that. I mean, if people are going to get a physical thing, you want to make it a bit special rather than just a download. So yeah, it's worth checking out. Really is.
yeah. What number album was this that you just released? Was this 2nd, 3rd?
This is number one for us.
Oh, it's number
Number
1
one
for you?
for us, but
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Number two for the band. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, just okay. Well, that's cool,
So
that's gotta
yeah.
feel pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does definitely. Especially the vinyl thing. I've not had that ever. So
yeah, that's very cool.
yeah, we
The
can
only
have
thing
spin around.
I know, the only thing I don't dig is how fast you have to, like, go back and flip sides. I'm, like, always like, "Damn it," but I still
Mm.
play it like crazy.
Yeah, I just hooked up my vinyl to like two speakers and a big sub bass. So I'm like, yes. Those old time records are like the bass is booming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so now as far as, like I was talking to you a little bit earlier, you know, I hate bringing it up, but, like, how's your crowds been, like, as far as coming back from everything's been have you guys played out a
Yeah,
bunch?
really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice and crowded, sweaty.
yeah, it has been good. We're not playing super regular. I reckon I mean, we've played once this year so far. Is that right?
Yeah, I think maybe twice.
Yeah, and a couple of times when everything opened up at the end of last year. So we're going, not being super regular, and we're trying to sort of spread out a little bit. But it's going okay. It's going okay. I think people are yeah, getting more confident about coming out, and it's been great. It's been good to get back into it.
Yeah, like she said, like, the whole covered in sweat and everything, man, like, the first time that happened after everything, I was just like, "Oh my god, I had never realized how much I missed this in my entire life," you know what I mean? Like, I smell, it's everything that's wrong about, being a clean person, but man, did I love it. Just to see
Yeah,
bodies flying again too, like, it's just I don't know, that's what it's all about.
yeah. I mean, one of the first sort of bigger gigs we played was little bit up in the north. We played like an all day festival,
Mhm.
and it was what 10, 12 bands. Yeah, tiny room. It was brilliant. It was really good day. Good to get back into it.
Now do you guys tour? Like, do you, like, go out on tour for days at a time or
Yeah, we're doing our first tour in April. So that starts on the 9th in Camden, and then that would take us through most of England and Scotland for the first time for me. I've never
Yeah,
been.
Yeah,
So
we're doing a big loop around the UK in a few weeks' time. So that's very exciting. We've not done that. We've not done that yet. We've done
it's gonna be road
yeah
trip.
yeah. We've gone out and
Living in
back
a
a few
van.
times. Yeah, living out the van is going to be interesting. See how well we really do get on.
Yeah, you'll either come back together and have some great stories, or you'll come back separately and never talk again.
Exactly. It's going to go either way. Either way.
Yeah.
But it's really turned out well. So we've got the launch of the album comes out officially on the 8th of April, and then we kick off in London on the 9th, and then we go from there. So we're doing, I think it's 8 dates in a row, and it finishes at the Manchester Punk Festival, which is in the middle of the UK, and it's one of the bigger sort of independent punk festivals. It's over 3 days. I think it's about 70, 75 bands. And it's a great way to end it because that's been delayed for, I think, 2 years now. So hopefully that's going to be a bit of a party when
Oh,
it's
that's the
done.
first year it's back? It's the first year it's
Yeah,
back? Oh, man,
yeah,
that should be killer.
yeah. Can't wait. Hopefully, I'm not too tired by the end of it. But
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 days straight, that man, I don't know. That'd be hard on anybody, though, especially, I don't know, at the age I'm at anyway. I don't jump
yeah,
in. I don't feel
Yeah,
like I used
no.
to.
it's the recovery. That's the problem. You're fine doing it, but it's the days afterwards. That's the.
That's why I quit drinking, man. It was like I drink for one night and have to recover for 3 days, and I'm like, "I can't do this anymore." You feel normal again Wednesday. I'm like, "That's not no."
Can't bounce
That is
back.
that is a good decision to, give up alcohol. I did that in December, and, yeah. And I'm just reading about kind of the effects and how it doesn't it takes years for it to, come out. So if you've damaged your liver, it could be 10 to 20 years before you even find out what you've done. So
Really?
yeah, and it's not alcoholics as well that suffer from sort of liver damage. It could be just the average binge drinker. So
Oh, boy. Yeah, because I used to I don't think yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't think I've had a drink, though. I think it's been a year and a half now.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I used to sit oh, my I used to be able to.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of work now too. I love this, like, you know what I mean? I love the scene. I love being in there with the bands playing and stuff, but I really don't like drunk people anymore either.
Mm.
Yeah, it's tough
Yeah,
to find
and
one. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. Especially, I don't know. If you've ever walked in a bar to pick somebody up or something, late night or whatever, and everybody in the bar is just hammered and you're just looking around like, what the hell is going on in here?
exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know where we're going with this. uh, are you guys, as far as like when that tour ends, are you going anywhere? Are you doing anything else the rest of the year? Have you guys anything booked after that, or just going with that and then going from there?
We've got a few
We have
dates.
a few
Try and
few more
fill in
gigs, yeah.
fill in the gap. Yeah, try and fill in the gaps that we missed out on there. But again,
Some more
not
northern
yeah, more,
shows. Yeah.
yeah,
We
You
like the
said you're
north.
which is
you said you're playing Scotland.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's got dude. That would be awesome.
I know,
yeah.
right?
We're going.
Yeah. Y-
I'm trying to think
y-
of like a cool outfit to like,
mm.
like a kilt,
Get your
just
tartan
go
on. Yeah.
get some bagpipes out, like Jonathan Davis. It's like
Yeah, I'm sure that'll
Yeah.
go down well.
Now, how far away is that for you guys?
That's probably from London, what, 500-600 miles, I reckon, up,
Oh wow.
pretty much straight up. So I think that's the furthest north, and then it's back down south. It's like the top of the loop, and then it's
Okay.
back round from there. So yeah, we hit that on the Tuesday, I think, in the week, and then we work our way Monday in Manchester. So yeah, be good. It's gonna be good.
Now,
we'll
are
have
you
to
guys? Oh, go ahead.
we'll have to check out Loch Ness. I
Oh,
don't know
it's
how
even
far it
further
is,
up.
but
That's way out the way. Yeah.
I've never been there. So,
Oh yeah, that would be cool. That would be awesome.
yeah, the monster.
Yeah, Nessie.
Mm.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I lost it. Oh, are you guys touring with any bands at all? Like, is there any other bands along with you, or
Not traveling with us, no.
no traveling? Okay.
Not traveling though, so we'll be traveling around on our own. But a couple of the bands that we're playing with are ending up at Manchester as well at the end. So
Oh,
there'll be a few familiar faces. Yeah, a lot of bands are going to be busy that week, sort of warming up for that. So I think at least three or four of the bands over the course of the week we'll see again
oh, that's cool.
at the end. So that's going to be good.
Yeah, that sounds like a the girls I know, they do it's just it's called Camp Pennsylvania. This is their second year doing it. But I mean, went from last year. I think we had 300 people there, and this year they announced it Sunday, and I think it's almost sold out already. I mean, it's just
Amazing.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. But it's another one, 3 days, but it was mostly local, they have national touring acts, but you know what I mean. Nobody's huge or anything, and they brought in Guttermouth and stuff this year, which is cool. But it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited. I did like the local aspect of it a little more though, you know what I mean? With the more I don't know. I was always listening to probably the same 10 bands growing up, Bad Religion, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then once I got to doing this really, like I got more into the local scene and stuff like that, man. And that's mostly what I listen to anymore is just those bands.
Exactly. There's so many great musicians and artists. They don't have to necessarily be mainstream. I think that's the beauty of it, really.
You're 100% correct. Like I would
Yeah.
honestly rather talk to somebody, you know what I mean, that's up and coming rather than somebody that's, I don't know. You can only interview the some person the same so many times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can only ask Fat Mike so many times how, whatever. It's just that's how I see it, you know. You can watch 10 interviews with him and it's the same thing really. It's just
It's amazing though. I mean, I've been coming back into sort of playing regularly, and like you go out on the average night, there'll be what 3, 4 bands, and some of the bands you play with are just it's just sort of luck really that they're not huge, and there's you could name dozens, and you're right. I mean, I'm finding that the more music I'm investing time in is either people that we've played with and seen, and they're good, or yeah, just picking up bands along the way rather than like how I used to get music. Like, I mean, Spotify's okay. It's good to find new stuff and just to check things out. But yeah, it's a tricky one. But sometimes you find these amazing bands that you pick up and go and find them, and they've got like 11 followers, and it's like, why? It's like
right.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Um, and yeah, it's the best way I think still to go out. And yeah, I think that's one of the benefits of getting around the country a bit more is being exposed to a lot more of that. And I don't know, some parts I think I'm probably not wrong in saying that outside of London, I think there's a bit more of a appreciation of live music. I mean, London's great. There's loads of places to play, but I don't know, it feels different. I mean, Tans, you probably feel the same thing. I think if you go to you play a show outside of London, people will go just to go to the night, regardless of who's playing, and they'll stay and watch every band and go. Whereas some of the London shows you'll play and they'll watch the band they've come to see and then move on to wherever else
Really.
they're going that night. I don't know if it's just too many options or just different, but yeah, it's nice getting out and about and yeah, trying your stuff out in front of an unfamiliar crowd. And yeah, the support's been great. It's been really nice to feel.
Yeah, it's that way here too. The resurgence of everything since, coming back from everything, the support and everything from everybody. I mean, it's just it's unreal. The networking is just crazy. Like I even at this little show, we do this in a computer store, okay? My friend who does Nick, he does all this. We do this in a computer store, the green screen, whatever. But I mean, we've connected, bands from one side of Pennsylvania to the other. I mean, we've connected bands in Canada and stuff like that. I mean, it's just been, it's been cool to see it happen even. And the people I've met have just been awesome. Like I haven't had one person I'm like, nah, I don't like him yet. So
Fingers crossed to keep that going. That's
yeah, no, and very much so. But like in my town, I don't like. I live in a town of maybe 2,000 people, and it's very redneckish, hillbillyish, is so to say. It's like I'm in like the exact center of Pennsylvania, so like deep
okay.
woods. Yeah, it's this style. Like everybody's always like, you need to be in California, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to be here. So I don't hang out with many people here, so it's nice, you know what I mean, to get to communicate with outsiders like yourselves.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I
That's
enjoy it.
great
I
that you're
enjoy it.
finding a way to do
Yeah, it's I don't know. It was a weird thing because I never even wanted to be a podcaster, I guess.
it.
But now I do 2 of them, so yeah, here I am.
Oh, cool.
But So do you guys still have merch and stuff all that on your website? I didn't get to check that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, there's plenty up. There's a bit of a pre-sale going on at the moment. We've got all the usual stuff like hoodies, t-shirts, and the like. So hopefully build up a bit of interest. But yeah, once that's done, yeah, it will be available, and I don't think there's any issues shipping internationally as well. Leslie, the other guitar player, she runs a independent label called Lockjaw Records, and they've got the back of that. So I don't think there's any issues there.
That's my guitarist has the same thing, and we kinda just piggyback off that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think,
it works out kinda nice.
yeah. I mean, that's
I always say if you have contacts, you use them.
absolutely, and I mean that's where a lot of I think we've been able to get a lot of the work done over the last time where people have had sort of time and been up for helping out, especially with the videos. I mean, we never envisioned that we'd be churning out sort of videos as we've been doing, but there's so many sort of talented and sort of kind people that have been around that have wanted to help and sort of share their skills. It's been great. I mean, the To the Grave video you mentioned, like
The
the
animation's
artwork on
insane.
that is great. It's a guy called that was a guy called Will Tubby. He's illustrator, and he does a lot of like storyboard art for films and the like. And yeah, tremendous. It's a huge help. Yeah, there's still a couple more to go video wise. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the artwork is just it's phenomenal. Like I said, I was looking at that the whole time, showing Nick. I was like, "Look at this one," you know what I mean? I was like a kid in a candy store. But yeah, it's great. And like I said, I like the fact, the whole artwork going with the music and stuff like that. Because like she said earlier, you don't see stuff like that very often. You don't see really anything like that at all.
Yeah. I
It
think people have forgotten to put the lyrics in, I guess, because Google is so like at hand and you can get everything online. So the need for a booklet or, the lyrics books isn't really there anymore. So
Yeah, that's how
yeah,
I used to find new bands was in the, like, all the thank yous and stuff like that where they mention all
yeah.
the other bands. Like that's exactly how.
And it's a shame. It's feel it's a bit lost, and I think people have it's starting to come back. I think a bit more with people collecting music now rather than just hoarding music. Is the difference. Like getting I mean, used to have like a collection of sort of 500 albums that would have taken you 20 years to build up, but now it's you can do 500 albums in an afternoon if you want to. It's just different, and that whole idea of listening into something start to finish and absorbing everything in that book where it's the lyric like you say the thank you is just reading who's involved. It's I think that's a nice experience that has been lost a bit, and I mean I still do it. I'm from
Same.
the remember when that was the only way, so yeah, I feel like a dinosaur, but yeah.
And it's wild here too because the scene like is all people our age. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of youngsters still coming out or anything yet. And
Mm,
I mean, we're even playing a show in towards Allentown, Pennsylvania, in a couple I think in June or something. But like that's the first all age show I think I've played. I don't even hear of all age venues anymore. And when I was a kid, man, like that's what got me into all this. You know what I mean? Did you guys have the same
mm.
thing? Like, did you have all age venues growing up?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, there were yeah, but you're right. I mean, I guess so much music now and performers are either not even in bands, whether they're sort of streamers or Instagram and doing the thing that way and not needing to go out there doing it fine. But I don't know, it's not that's not really never been for me that one. You wanna
no.
get out there.
No, like, my band, we do the same thing. Those guys are in New Jersey, so, like, we send each other stuff, but we play live together or whatever, you know what I mean? But we don't get to practice a whole lot together, but I just can't imagine the whole I don't know. I don't know.
It's quite
I
lonely.
don't Yeah, it's just yeah. I just can't imagine growing up without being able to, like we had a place called the Crowbar, and it was, like, 20 miles away, and I mean, I there was weeks that I was there every single night of the week.
We have a similar venue. Well, the same name in London.
Oh,
That
really?
was like, yeah, a really heavy metal pub that was tiny that everybody used to go in, and it was so sweaty and packed all the time, and you squeeze yourself in there. Yeah.
It's
It's really
it's a
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a tiny corridor and, like, a little
Yeah.
tiny bubble at the end, and you just squeeze yourself in. Most everyone hung out outside because they were smoking and drinking, but it was the go-to heavy metal pub in London. the only one basically. That's
Yeah,
why it was so packed.
this place was the same way, except there was 2 levels to it. So you'd walk in, but the first level is in front of the stage, and that's where they kept the, youngsters, and then upstairs was the bar, but, I mean, everything, like you said, was just everybody's like this. You're sweating on each other, and nobody can move, but, it's great.
I know.
Everything seems I don't know, being that young too, everything just seems so much bigger too, than you remember. I because that place closed, and then they brought it back recently, and I got to go to a show back, recently, and, like, within the 10 years it was closed and stuff, though, I come back and I'm like, "Man, this place is" I don't know, it's not exactly the best for views or, but I'm also a lot older now and pay attention to that stuff instead of just getting thrown around.
It's like being in like it's a similar thing. I mean, a lot of those places, like say growing up being a teenager, they've kind of gone either like through being developed or faded or don't know, it's moved like different parts of town become like more around live bands. And yeah, I remember getting to the point where you'd be at like some of the bigger venues like the Astoria and things at the end of the night, and if you be there when the lights go on, you're like, oh my god, what is this? Hell no, when you see it when it's empty, it's like, yeah, no wonder they want to knock it down. It's
Yeah, were saying earlier we were talking about just losing all the venues too. Like there was a bunch we lost just through the whole COVID thing too. Like that's that hasn't been fun. Have you had any like new ones open up around you?
yeah, I mean, there's been a few like I said, in different parts of London, it's kind of sort of popped up now, is where some newer places are happening, because historically there was always like right in the centre of town, like Soho, that area. There was a place like Borderline and Crowbar, what Tanzy mentioned, and that was kind of there was loads of little small clubs. Troubadour used to be there. Um, what the Fox, Intrepid Fox, and that kind of fizzled out, and it just changed. And Camden's always been over sort of northeast London, has always been established as a live music place, and venues come and go there quite regularly. But there's a handful that are there. But I think sort of East London now has seen a real resurgence in sort of live music and that kind of thing. A lot more small venues are popping up, which is good. It's good. I think there's still places. It's just not. It's just changed.
There was the Ruskin Arms,
Yeah.
where Iron Maiden apparently were made themselves. So that
Yeah.
pub is very famous in East Ham for Iron Maiden, but that closed down years ago.
Mm.
Like maybe 20 years or something.
That's
That's
right.
right next to my house, so I used to go there all the time.
Did you see Iron Maiden there?
No, I'm not that
No.
old.
Oh, I'd go see Iron Maiden now. Like, yeah,
No, missed that boat.
yeah. So that's crazy. Well, we lost. I guess CBGB's closed down. How many years ago? That was a while ago too. It was in New York. One Ramones and all them played in.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate that I was able to go and there.
Were you really?
Feel lucky. Yeah, I went to. I mean, again, we're going back now. This is probably what 2000.
40 years.
Yeah, 40 years ago. Yeah, I think it must
Was
have been
young
about
Nicc.
yeah, 2000. Totally underage. I think I was even like 19 or so. I went with a guy who was 21, and we sort of bumbled our way in. He went in first, and I did the whole I'm from England. I seem to have lost my passport, and let us in. And I think we ended up going like 3 nights there, and it was great little pilgrimage. One of the worst or the most incredible bathrooms I've ever seen.
I've heard that. I have heard of that bathroom before. That's just that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
really, really cool.
yeah. Well, when I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one of the times there, they had the front of it built up, and you could like stand in front. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Stand in front of it and whatever if you wanted to get a picture. But yeah, no, I only live a state away from it. And I never made it, and you live.
Oh man,
Yeah, I know. I
like
know.
8 hours to get there.
I dropped the ball big time, man, as usual. It was probably sitting in my email. Because I think I talked to Leslie too, for a little bit before
Okay.
she passed me on to you. So I don't know. I've definitely talked to at least 3 or 4 of you now.
Yeah, done the rounds. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is quite typical. It's quite difficult getting us all in one place at the same time. It's even like for practices, it's
I always wonder too. I work at a restaurant like 20 hours a week or whatever. But I was telling you, these tables will come in with, table of 15, table of 20 at, lunchtime. And I'm like, I don't have 15 or 20 friends around here. I'm like, how the hell do you get 15 people on a Tuesday afternoon? You know what I mean? Don't you have jobs? Like, yeah, I just don't understand it.
It's like when we've practiced, we've got like a rule. If 4 of us can make it, we're doing it. It's
Well, that's that would be an advantage of having 3 guitars too, though.
yeah, that is quite helpful. You can take a bit of a break in the middle of a song and no one really notices. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Tanzy can't do that, unfortunately.
But you know what I mean? You could still definitely, wing practices and stuff like that if somebody couldn't make it or whatnot. Because
Yeah,
being a three-piece, if the guitarist doesn't show up, it's not much of a practice.
yeah, too right, too right. But no, it's I mean, having 6 people definitely pros and cons. I think having six people, but it's always good. It's good fun. I've never done anything like it before. Yeah, I mean, the other good thing I'd say is it means that we can pretty much replicate quite faithfully what you're hearing on the record live,
Mhm.
which I think makes a big difference when you're playing out. I mean, we make a real big sound. It's quite physical.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like layered almost.
mm.
Yeah, it's wild. Like I said, I like it a lot.
You've got to resist that temptation to do it on every song, just like 3-part, bang, 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 on everything.
Was there anything you guys wanted to like push? This is your chance to promote yourselves here, your website or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely the vinyl release, because we've only made like 300, so I don't think that we will be recreating those again. So definitely get those because they're something that's going to be
Mm.
pretty rare. Other than that, yeah, just CDs, t-shirts, just support local music, come to shows because you have a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
it's basic. That's it, basically.
okay. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you both. Um,
Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah,
no,
and
thanks for
good luck on the
coming
tour, and keep in touch. You know what I mean? I'll answer this time, I promise.
on.
But seriously, keep in touch and good luck on the tour. Like I want to know how it goes. Let me know how it goes.
No problem, man. I'm sure there'll be some
Yeah, we'll have to do
floating
some
around as well.
video blogging.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna get you all at your worst.
Asleep and snoring, dribbling, yeah.
Yes, all your drunken antics. 'Cause I'll be the sober one, the boring one. So
You're the only female in the band?
no, no,
Oh, yeah, no, Leslie's yeah, okay.
Leslie.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say at least you got somebody else with you. That would be 5 guys and 1 female and I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Leslie's kind of wild. I think she makes up 3 of the guys. So
Oh,
Yeah. I think
she's
even though
the
it's
wild one. She's the one swinging off the light switches and stuff. So
oh,
yeah, even though it's 4 guys, 2 girls, we still feel outnumbered somehow, so
yeah, that's how it goes, I think. Well, hey, thank you guys very much for coming on. Like I said, keep in touch. We'll talk soon.
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you,
All right,
Jimmy.
thanks again. Take care.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was the Midwich Cuckoos. Check them out. Like I said, it is just it's good shit. I don't have to say anything more than that. It's good stuff. Check them out. Buy their merch. You heard about the vinyl too. That's cool stuff. Like only 300 made. Kick-ass artwork. Like I can't even express enough what I feel about the artwork. Like it was just something that I was just like, man, because I've never gotten to art before I started screen printing. Now I'm just like everything I notice like crazy. But that's good stuff. Once again, you know the drill. Buy the ticket, take the ride. I'll see you next week.